I'll just go ahead and turn the lights on so we can have a proper conversation. How's everyone doing? Thank you, Alvin. It's a topic that has big implications, but if you keep it simple, you actually can navigate your way through it quite easily. So, without further ado, the topic I've been asked to talk to you guys about is relationships. See, judging by your response to that, I can tell, yeah, okay, this is going to be a bit touchy, but we're going to start with as what you should always be starting with. See, the last time I was here, we spoke about sort of breaking it down, starting from the beginning, from back to basics. But we didn't look at, okay, so what does it mean to be a Christian? So when we're looking at relationships as well, we should start by, okay, what is my number one identity? My number one identity is that I am a Christian. So as a Christian, how does relationships look like to me? So we should start with a simple game. I wish I had told Alvin that we should have stayed in your groups. But in groups of 5 each, just grab like five friends to your left and to your right. I want you to rank these relationships in order. What you think is the most important relationship in your life, all the way down to the least. I say least, but it's still important. All right, so if you want to write this down as well, that's cool, because there is 6 of these relationships that I would like you to rank them. I don't have a pen now. Alvin, where you take the pens? Where you take the pens?
Oh, you want the pens?
Yeah, people want pens back. Oh, you got phones, right? So notes out. I'm digital, so I'm just see my whole notes over here. I don't do notes. I don't do pens. I had to sign my signature the other day. It was no ink blood. It was like I couldn't hold a pen right. Cool. We ready? We ready? Are we ready? No? I'll give you 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8. We're good? All right. Everyone good? You got your groups? Yeah? All right, sweet. Over there, you guys are good? Over here, you guys are good? In the front, you guys are good? In the middle, you guys are good? Yeah? All right, sweet. So the first one is God. Hey, I want you to rank these by how you think they are. Number 2, family. So that means your immediate and extended family. Number 3, community. Number 4, because this is different from family, children. There's children and there is family. Alright. Number 4, was that 4? Was that? There's a 4. Number 5 then is spouse. I missed 4. Okay, number 4, spouse. Alright, I'm gonna run it back. Number 1 was God. Number 2 was parents. Number 3 was community. Wait. Start again. Number 1 is God. Big G-O-D, right? Number 2 is parents. No. We start again. Just take these names. I'm gonna say 6 different names. Just take them down, find them, and then rank them in order, right? So number 1 is God. Number 2 is parents. Number 3 is extended and immediate family. Number 4, right? Is that too quick? Number 3 was extended and immediate family, so all that's 1. Number 4 is community. Number 5 is children. And number 6 is spouse. Yes, your children. So it being you being in that situation, God, parents, your immediate family, so brothers and sisters, an extended family, cousins and whatnot, children, community, and your spouse.
What first?
Be using Bible verses, so straight in the Bible. First one, Deuteronomy 6:5. Just be ready, don't put it yet. Just be ready. How we doing? How we doing? You done? You done? How many people done? Nah, they still arguing here. They still talking about over there. Like, we got you made it over there. Yeah, people who are related to you, the church, friends and friends. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Alright, answers. How are you feeling? You feeling confident? No? You couldn't agree. You couldn't agree. That's good, that's good, that's good. I can't wait to hear these answers. Really contented. Alright, that's how we're going to do it because we seem to not be able to get to a consensus. We're going to break down the groups into smaller groups. So if in your group you had people who you agree with, side with them. Right? So if they're like maybe somebody who put children higher, side with the people who you agree with, right? I know that's going to mean that it's going to be smaller groups. Just side with the people who you agree with, right? You have 5 seconds to side with the person. Yeah. If you want to move seats, that's cool. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This one. Cool. So we started back. So back benches on the stick, they don't be last. Nah. First shall be last and last shall be first. So let's start at the back. Terrence. We need your teams. We need your peoples. What's your list? What's your list looking like? Alright, Terrence, let's hear it.
We got God first,
Uh-huh.
and then we got spouse,
Uh-huh.
children,
Uh-huh.
parents,
Uh-huh.
family, community.
Okay. Alright, just to go quicker then. Who has anything different from that? Alright, let's start with Alvin.
The only right answer is
Okay.
spouse, children, family, parents, and community.
So you need to start with God. You just want to straight to God. Alright, run it back.
I said God, spouse, children, family, and then community. Parents is about community.
Parents of God. Anyone have anything different from what he just said? Yep.
Where would you put the spouse? That's something like that. You know what I mean?
God, children, parents, spouse, family,
Say that again.
God, children, parents, spouse, family, community.
Okay. Right. Those three that have been mentioned. Does anyone have anything different from that list? There's one more? Oh, there's two more. Alright, so start again, real quick.
God, children, spouse, family, community.
God, children, spouse, family, and community. Alright, you need two more. You need two more.
Parents. What about your parents?
God, parents, spouse, children, family, community.
Alright, let's go over here. Caitlin, bring it over here. Bring it to the front, bring it to the front, bring it to the front.
God, spouse, children, parents, family, community.
Yes, that was the same as Clarence.
I like that one.
Alright, so this is how we're going to do it. It's going to be a slow feed and we're going to see how they work into each other. So, who's want to tell me the obvious one? Which is the first one? Thank you very much. Alright, so Deuteronomy 6:5. How do we know that this is true? What does it say? It's one of the 10 commandments. Okay, just trying to write that down. Yes, that's right on word. That's right on word. Pay no attention to that word. That's just what it is. And we're going through it. We're going through it step by step. We're going to see it. It needs to be backed up with a proof. Right? Alright, so boom. This is number one. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength. Alright, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that. That was simple, right? As a Christian, that is your highest priority. That is the biggest relationship in your life. Alright, number two. Ephesians 5:25. What does it say? Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25. I'll help your boy out. It says, husbands, love your wives as Christ loves the church. He gave himself up for her. Your spouse, is the second one. Ephesians 22 says, wives, submit to your own husbands as to the Lord. Ephesians 31 says, therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and hold fast to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. That is your second most important relationship. Your spouse, not your children, not your family, not your community, not your friends, your spouse. Right? Number 3, Ephesians 6:4. Are we okay with it? No? Okay. I shall read it. So, number 3, Ephesians 6:4 says, fathers, do not provoke your who? Children to anger, but bring them up in the discipline and instruction of the Lord. Proverbs 32:6 says, train up a child in the way that they should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it. So the third most important relationship that you will have will be your child. And then obviously number 4 is parents. Deuteronomy 5:16 says, honor your father and mother as the Lord commanded you, that your days may be long, that it may go well with you in the land that the Lord is giving you. Ephesians 6:1-3 says, Ephesians chapter 6, verse 1-3. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother. This is the first commandment with the promise that it may go well with you and that you may live long in the land. All right, so number 5, Romans 4:1-6. So we're left with 2, between the immediate family and the community. I think we can pretty much kind of guess which one comes first. Romans 14:1-6. This one I didn't quote, sorry. I really need your help with this one.
So rebooting here.
Rebooting, okay. That is Romans 14:1-6. So, accept the one whose faith is weak without quarreling over dispute matters. One person's faith allows them to eat anything, but another, their faith who's weak, eats only vegetables. The one who eats everything must not treat with contempt the one who does not. And the one who does not eat everything must not judge the one who does, for God accepts them. Who are you to judge someone else's servant? To their own master, servants stand or fall. And they will stand, for the Lord is able to make them stand. One person considers one day more sacred than the other. Another considers every day alike. Each of them should be convinced, fully convinced in their own mind. Whoever regards one day as special, so does the Lord. Whoever eats meat does so to the Lord, for they give thanks to the Lord. And whoever abstains does so to the Lord and gives thanks to God. For none of us lives lives alone, and none of us dies for ourselves alone. If we live for the Lord, and if we die for the Lord. So whether we live or die, we belong to the Lord. So I extended that further than I needed to, only just till 6. Right, so the answer here, if that was not too clear, is your immediate and extended family, right? So Galatians 5:13 says, you were called to freedom, brothers, right? Only do not use your freedom as an opportunity for the flesh, but through love serve one another. Ephesians 4:32 says, be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, as God in Christ forgave you. 1 Thessalonians 5:11. Therefore encourage one another and build one another up, just as you were doing. Hebrews 10:24 says, let us consider one another and stir up one another in good works. So when I mention immediate and extended family, I'm talking about the family of being in the body of Christ. I'm talking Christian to Christian. That is part of family. That is considered part of family when you're a Christian. And so now when you extend that out further to those who are not part of your family, This is what I'm calling the rest of the community. And in Matthew 28:19, so this is the last one's a community. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. So again, to rank those again, the first one was God. The second one was spouse. Number 3, children. Number 4, parents. Number 5, immediate and extended family. That includes your Christian brothers and sisters. Number 6, the rest of the community. Basically, people who are not Christians. You're called to go out, speak to them, and convert them as well. Speak to them in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Now, another small question. Where do you think your boyfriend or your girlfriend ranks in that? Which part of those? Of course, God, right? Which part of those do you think your boyfriend or your girlfriend is in? Is your boyfriend the community? Is your girlfriend the immediate extended family? It's clearly not your parenting. It's clearly not your child. What do you consider to be your spouse? Well, none of this, because it looks like we still can't agree on which category the girlfriend or the boyfriend fits in. Number 5, who has anything different? Who's thinking everything different from 5? So number 5 was immediate friend, immediate family, and extended family. Huh? So your spouse would be number 2. Right, so you're saying that your girlfriend or boyfriend is just as important as a spouse. Okay. So we have a number 2 here. Sorry. Yeah, because it's not a child. Huh? It's just... Say it again. Yeah. I mean, the category still exists because there's still potential for it in the future. It could still happen. Or you could be in positions where, say, you've already had kids, but you're not married. Alright, so we have 2 answers. One person said they are part of number 5, which is immediate family and extended family. Another person said they're just as important as your spouse, so they fit in your spouse group. Is that what you agree as well? Huh? You put yours a second as well. Alright. Anyone else who has anything different from number 5 or number 2? Part of the community. Part of the community. Okay, yes, that's number 6. You're a 7, so this is a new lower than community. Wow, okay, that's good, that's good. Anything different from those? Anyone with any other different answer? break it down. So when you get into a relationship, hopefully you are on the track to get married to this person, right? Unless you're one of those people who are like, I just want a little fling, you know, right? I just want a little. As a Christian, when you get into a relationship, this is the person you're thinking that you're trying to see if you can go the distance with this person, right? So that should automatically disqualify a certain type of person. If this person is not a Christian, you should not be thinking about it. Trust me, you are not the Savior. You will not save them. You will not save them. You are not the Savior. You're not Emily Christ. You're not James Christ, or whatever your name is. You are not the Savior. You will not save them. You're only signing up for a lot of heartbreak. Huh? They can. Yeah. They can. Keep a distance. Because there's a very strong chance they're doing it. Very strong chance. It happens in all age groups. It's not just it's not supposed to start here. It's tainted from the beginning if it's just for you. Because it's a personal commitment. That's why you have to say it with your own mouth. It's a personal commitment. Right, so we've broken it down. It's supposed to be a Christian, right? So what does that mean? That means they don't accept the community. This person is not part of the community. So that leaves immediate extended family. That leaves is obviously not a parent, is obviously not a child, is not or the spouse, right? There was a seventh one, which is below community. So I didn't consider that, so it's not in my notes. So the answer is, so when you break it down, this person is somebody you're looking to be serious with and is a Christian, but is not yet your spouse. Then this person, being Christian, is part of the immediate family and community. Not community, immediate and extended family. So that means once you get married, it graduates from level 5 all the way to level 2. Proof of that is what we've just been seeing. Therefore, a man should leave his father and mother. So even that relationship, you put it to the side. It's above your father and mother. And you go and be as one flesh with your wife. Graduates from 5 all the way to level 2. Any questions on that? Any questions? Anything you feel like you're not quite 100% with on that one? But it's good to think about, like, let me not just dismiss it and put it aside. The thing about dating somebody who's not a Christian, first of all, let me find out the ages, because I was told this was between 14 and 18, right? So is there anyone here younger than 14? No? Okay, anyone here older than 18? Okay. Sweet. We're gonna... Who's 14? Who's 14 here? 14? Or 15? All right, 16, 16, 17, 18. I'm trying to find out the majority. It looks like it's 18. 19. Ooh, okay. 18 and 19 kind of tied. And 20. Okay, 20 plus. 20 plus. So the reason you don't go outside, you don't try to date somebody who's not a Christian is again because they have totally different system of beliefs than you. And when you try to get into a relationship with somebody who is not a Christian, what happens more often than not, I've experienced it myself, where it's like they start to want to sort of like just please you instead of actually trying to know God for themselves. So it really takes away from them having to know God personally. And each person's journey here, even for the older people and for, I'm assuming for you guys in your young age as well, when you're a Christian, it's such a long journey. Some things you need time to work through. Certain things, they take time for you to be like, yeah, no, I don't agree with it. I don't agree with that, God. And when you're in a relationship, sometimes you're rushing that person. Come on, do this. I need you to get to this check mark so that I can be okay with being with you. And you don't give that person grace to grow properly. You don't give that person room to really experience what it's like to be a Christian, live that life day in, day out, have this place to grow. So you need to like separate yourself. You can totally be friends with them. Friends is perfectly fine. In fact, it's almost even encouraged. Because then you, at that point, from that vicinity, when you're still somewhat close to this person, they can look at your life and say, this person is living for God. Why can't I? They can see the example that you live. And they can see how the fruits of the Holy Spirit that are in you, and they can desire it for themselves. They see the love that is in you, the joy that is in you, the peace that is in you, that you're a kind person, you're a gentle person, you're a faithful person, you're a selfless person. All these fruits that are in you, they just see it and they want it for themselves as well. They want that peace, they want that love. But when you're with them, you're really, it changes that dynamic a lot more because now there's a lot more pressure on them. And it becomes an act. They're really just doing it for you. Are there situations where it's worked out for the people? Yeah, sure. But usually what happens is, if you take a shortcut and you think you've arrived, but there's usually a penalty. There's something you will have missed, or there's something extra you will need to pay for. That relationship will go through some rocky situations that you would not anticipate because you took a shortcut somewhere. Things will always add up. If you try to do it your own way and you don't do it God's way, things will always happen in a way that you will learn, okay, God knew what he was doing. Because you couldn't see it with your own eyes. We're human. We only see like what's in front of us. But he sees 10, 20, 100 steps ahead. And he knows if you take this shortcut, if you try to be with this girl now or this boy now, this boy is not completely where he needs to be. He will hurt you. She will hurt you. You know what's real though? It's not just that they will hurt you, you will hurt them too. Because you're rushing them. You will affect their perception of Christianity. Alright, so let's move on from that. I had a real question here, just around that topic. So, what do you do when you have feelings for that person? Or what do you do when you have feelings for any general person, whether they're saved or not? what your parents or guardians or your mentors will say is they will ask you, are you ready for marriage? Right? That's always the question they say, are you ready for marriage? A serious question. Any Nigerians in there? I love Nigerians, man. Nigerians is hilarious to me. I feel like for me, this isn't always a fair question. Some Christians, sure, have married from a young age, right? And it's going good for them. And some of them, they started like, it was great. We started as friends, and it became, something closer than friends, and it just organically grew into something beautiful. But it is very rare. I just want to tell you a quick statistic here, that it's very rare, still possible though, because out of 100 high school couples, 100, so this is 200 people, out of 100 high school couples, only 20% survive till college or uni. Only 20% till college or uni. So that's only 20 couples make it to college or uni. And out of those 20 make it to college or uni, only 10% of those make it to tell each other their vows. Only 2 out of 100 statistically make it to marriage. So it's not impossible, but it's very rare. So the question I would ask you, I think a fairer question is, what is your intentions? What is your intention? What do you expect from this relationship? What do you want from it? People mature at different speed. Some people mature much younger, some people mature much older than others. But what is your intention? I'm trying to look for people who feel brave to contribute, say, what do you feel like you're looking for right now? If you're looking. If you're looking. If you're looking. Again, this is not to say that everyone should be looking. If you're not looking, that's perfectly fine. In fact, let's start with this. It's not looking. Hands up. You are not looking. Feel proud to say that you are not looking. Feel 100% bold to say that you are not looking for someone. Okay. I respect it. Because that takes maturity. I respect it. Because that takes knowing yourself, knowing what you're capable of, knowing what you want in your life, and just being like, no, I'm fine with where I am at the moment. And let it come when it needs to come, or at its own time. That's perfectly fine. You can be mature and still feel like, no, I'm not ready for that. That's perfectly fine. So, because that was the minority, I'm assuming everyone else then is looking for someone, right? No? But you didn't put your hands up. Huh? The question was, okay, let me repeat it. The question was, who is not looking for someone right now? Not. You are not looking for someone. Perfectly fine. As is. It's completely changed. For those who are, again, my question to you is, what is your intention? What is your intention in that relationship? What do you want out of that relationship? See, in today's world, it can fit into multiple groups, right? You could just be looking for a fling because the season has changed. You could just be looking for a cover buddy. You could be looking for friends with benefits. You could be looking for like a side chick or whatever. Or you could be actually trying to go for gold. You're going for marriage. You're going for just somebody who's you're compatible with, right? That forever person. Yeah. What is your intention? Because from that, then we can be able to decide, okay, is this something that you should be going for or not? Right? And then, how well do you know this person? Right? So we're thinking about, you already have someone in mind. How well do you know this person? How well do you think you two are compatible or not? And I'm speaking specifically to those who feel like they're ready to take that step. How well do you know this person? Because sometimes you get into a relationship, then you find out some things you weren't really ready to know about this person. Quite good. You get into a relationship, and you actually start to see, okay, maybe this person, they were just the acting Christian, but they're not practicing Christian. So what do you do then? What do you do then? Question number 3. These are all questions for you to just ask yourself when you're going through it. Question number 3. Do you have someone that you can talk to about that person? Yeah? Do you have someone? And I'm not just saying anyone. I'm talking, this is someone solid. This is somebody who's a Christian. Somebody who can give you advice based on word and say, yes, this person is good, this person's not good. Do you have someone who you can talk to about this person? A mentor. And so when you wrap that all up together, you can see why most of the times old people just want to simplify it and say, just concentrate on books, leave boys alone, leave girls alone, because there's decent steps to it. There's decent steps to it. And for most people, in those 3 questions, you answered no. You said, okay, no, I don't have any person I can talk to about this issue, or no, he or she is not a Christian, or they're still on that path, trying to get there, or my intentions, I don't know, I'm just trying it out, just see how it is, that type of stuff. And so, when you feel like one of those, not when you, the parents then sometimes, because life is busy and they're dealing with a whole bunch of stuff and they don't want to get into the whole conversation, they just simplify it and say, just concentrate on books, concentrate on whatever you're supposed to be doing right now. Relationships are a very big deal. They can make you or break you. There are people walking today, people in their 20s, people in their 30s, people in their 40s, walking around with the hurt and scars that they had from teenage years, from the 20s, 30s, yet it keeps on going. People who are old that still have scars that they got from when they were really young. These things, they really stay in your heart. I'm talking even to the dudes as well. That girl will play you so bad, bro. She will play you bad. And the thing is, you think you're tough, right? You think you can handle it. You think, nah, you can be a player too. Until you find out you ain't cut like that. You ain't cut like that. This ain't you. This ain't you. This ain't you. it's a very big deal because also things can go very quickly from sunshine and roses and rainbows and everything is great. Very quickly turn around and it's poisonous, it's venomous, it's goodness, you can't breathe anymore. You feel like you want your time again. You want to be young again. You want to experience just being free in yourself again. You can suddenly a situation can turn from being this was great and it's no longer that great anymore. It has so many points of no return. There's a place in your relationship you can reach where once you've crossed that path, you can no longer go back there. There are things you can tell your girl or your boy, once you've told them, you are not coming back from that. Things like, even the good things, you can say, oh man, I really like you, or I really love you. And once you reach that part, you've crossed over to that part, now your words carry so much more weight than just somebody else. And that is a line that cannot be crossed again, unless you two break up. And these points of no return exist in so many areas, right? Because let's be honest, right? In this culture, they're not just telling you to get a girl. They're not just telling you to get a boy. They're telling you to do what? They're telling you to smash. They're telling you to get another one and smash that one too. And get another one and smash that one too. And get another one and smash that one too. Don't you know when you smash action? In the Bible, we see the example of Jesus when he was talking to the Samaritan woman at the well. And the Samaritan woman was talking to Jesus, asking, what is this living light, water, that I can drink of it? And Jesus tells this woman, tells her that he knows that she has 5 men. She's wondering, so she says, you must be some prophet, because how did you know that? I see that you're a prophet. But he says, no, I don't have 5 men. I don't have a husband. Jesus replies, yes, it's true. You do not have a husband, because even your one you're with right now is not your husband. Just seeing through her. And this woman is like, she's wondering, how are you able to read me this well? And Jesus is able to see this woman is in relationship or has had relations with multiple men without marrying them. But to God, all of those count as marriages. So every person you smash, to God, it counts like a marriage. Why is that? Because smashing was supposed to be, the way God intended it, it's supposed to be like the seal, the stamp to say this is valid for marriage, to consummate the marriage. This is the stamp to say this is a marriage, all right? So when you're just, and another one, and another one, and another one, so all these stamps. The Bible says, again, in the verse we looked at earlier about family, was it Ephesians 5:31? It says, therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and hold fast to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. So you have become one flesh with that person, and that other person, and that other person, and that other person. So anyway, I wasn't here to scare you about relationships. I know I've done that already. Because it can actually be beautiful. The important step here is just to remember that this thing is huge. This thing has big implications. This thing will affect your life in a very massive way. It's one of the devil's favorite tools to use. That's why sex is everywhere. You see it everywhere. Everywhere. It's his favorite tool because it is super effective. And it's also super powerful. So treat it with respect. Understand where you are. Do like a, a heart search. Find out where you are as a person. Do you have the capacity for this? What is your intention? going back to my two questions. What is your intention? How well do you know this person? And do you have somebody to talk to about this? There's me. Any questions? It's stunned silent. Stunned silent. It is beautiful. It is beautiful. Because for me, I had a relationship when I was in high school. And it was one of those that started really organically, really beautiful, right? She wasn't even my type, to be honest. And I'm not even trying to throw shade or nothing, man. It's not even like that. It's not even like that. She wasn't my type. It's just she was different. And then, so I moved to a different school, and it was like in the rural areas. It was up in the sticks. It was just terrible. I didn't do so well, so kind of like as a punishment, I was sent to the sticks, to a terrible school, just to see if, I can sort of start acting right and get my books in order. And so I had 2 more years left before I finished high school. And then this girl from America comes, and you're wondering, from America to here in the sticks, what? So she comes, and I take one look, because everybody's like, oh, there's a girl from America, go check it out. And I go and see it, like, it's fine. Not even my type. But then you get to know this person. I got to know her, we became friends. And even when we're still friends, people are like, you two, there's something there. It looks like you two are more than something. I'm like, no, it's fine, no, we're just friends. Because you start to actually recognize this person's solid. This person's really good. And that's the thing about just being in that relationship with someone, especially when you keep it as friends for a decent amount of time and you know who they are. You don't just jump in, you're not just, give me your number. It's like you actually get to know them, who they are. And it grew from that. Like friends were asking if you two are together or not, until I decided, you know what? So many people are saying that if we're together, I wonder if she thinks whether we're together. So let me just go and clarify with her. So sat her down, had a chat. It's like, so I'm hearing that people are saying that we're a thing. What do you think? She said, no, I don't think we're a thing. And so very quickly I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna shoot my shot. So what do you think? Should we be a thing? She said, all right, sweet. And it was just that simple. It wasn't anything like, I would just write her a letter or like propose to her and nothing. It literally was just like that. And from that moment, we were a thing. And to this day, for me, that was the most mature, the most organic, the best relationship I've ever had. And I'm 32. And I was 18 at that time. I was 18 at that time. I was 18 at that time. Because why? I think for me it was almost like the right person at the right time. And you get to see who they are, they get to see who you are, and it grows organically. And for me, it came from a place where I wasn't even looking. I wasn't trying to holler at this girl. But then some solid girl who was a solid Christian, she was firm in the faith. I forgot to mention that, that's really important. She was firm in the faith. And I was also, trying to build my faith and get stronger in the word as well. It was so smooth. It felt like it was right. Everything was just going the right way. I asked my boys, what do you think about her? Nobody has anything bad to say about this girl. She was solid. She had everything check. She made me feel like a king. Cause like legit, I could rest easy knowing that even if dudes tried to step up to her, trying to slice me out of the equation, she would just, easy. It's no stress. I felt safe with this girl. The only thing that happened is that now, when we finished school, her parents had moved from America to Canada, and they wanted her to return as soon as possible. That was the end of that. So we just had to end there. It's fun. It happens. But you see, what I'm trying to say here is you can have a relationship when you're young, and it can give you some really good memories. For me, what I remember from that time is like I just have really good memories from that time. And it doesn't make me feel bad about, oh, women, all this, all that. Because I understood who I was. I understood what my intentions were. I knew what I was aiming for. And I told that girl, look, I'm gonna marry you. I really felt strongly about that girl. She's the only one I told I love you. She's the only one, right? I was true, I was solid, I was like, man, we're going the full, the whole way there. So I'm not here to just, shake you up and feel like this is not a thing that can happen. It can, and it will, for some of you. For 2 of you out of 100. Right, any questions? Anyone feel like they want to ask anything about relationships in general? Don't feel shy, man. We good here. Man. We can talk.
She used to come back.
Sorry?
You never go back to her.
Would I ever go back to her? She's married. Hey, we moved on. That was a long time ago. We moved on. It was a long time ago. It's fine. It's good. You thank God for that. He allowed it to happen. That's one thing. You know what? I'm those type of Christians that sometimes I look at both the good and the bad, and I say, God, thank you that I went through that. Because I still look at back at it, and I feel so thankful for the memories that we had with her. And she's having another time with somebody else, and that's cool. But I'm like, man, dang, I had my feel, I'm good, I'm great. Till the next time.
How did you do?
Huh?
How did you do?
How did I heal? Bruh, I took a hit. I took a hit. No, it's real though. It's real because like, as a dude, they tell you don't cry and whatnot. No, I didn't. I didn't. But yeah, it took time. It took time because when you feel like you actually really love someone, you put in work. You put in so much work into this relationship, and then sometimes, for exactly my situation, it ended in a situation where none of us could do anything about it. Both of us wanted it to continue, but it couldn't. So it feels even more painful because it's not like you're coming to some agreement that, nah, you're not good for me. No, we're good for each other. It's just that now we can't do nothing about this. We're too young. We can't continue. And so you just have to take one day at a time. Time is a healer. And what worked for me is, number one, I'm a huge gamer. So games really helped. I'm gonna tell you that for real. Call the boys up, tell them jump online. Let's hit these games. Let's hit these lobbies. Let's get some dubs. Let's get some dubs. It really helps. It takes your mind off of it. So that's a practical thing for me that helped. Just meet up with the dudes as well. Go and shoot some pool. Or do whatever you guys like to do. That helps a lot, right? Number two, do not jump into another relationship. Give your time self to heal. Give yourself time to heal. Do not jump into another relationship. Because you will treat that person as a rebound. Or you will be looking to quickly go back to where you were with that other person, not knowing you have to build something completely different with this other person, who is a completely different person from who you had before. So never jump in straight into another one. So those are two things, I think for me, the practical lessons I would say. One, just give it time. Two, play with, play some games or do whatever you enjoy doing, your hobbies or whatever, do more of them. And three, don't jump into another relationship ASAP. Just give yourself time. Any other question? Any other question?
What are boundaries?
Boundaries?
Yes.
4?
Like, because you lot were together, innit?
Yeah.
So what boundaries do you have?
Good question. Love that you asked that. So I think that's part of also your intentions. You have to set boundaries. So for me, in that relationship, I told her, because I respect you, I'm not touching you, I'm not kissing you, I'm not doing any of that. I'm lying. No, because on the real, if you really love, if you really respect this person, right, then you're not just out there to get your own, right? You're not just out here to just cop a feel. And you're not just there to just feel nice. This is not just something to feel nice for. So you have to respect them. You have to show them that, look, actually, I care about who you are. I care about you as a person. I care about you, the temple of the body of God. Body is your temple of Christ. I care that I will not treat you like a piece of meat. Now, for me, at that time, I did not kiss, not even on the cheek. But if you ask me now, my views have changed a lot. But when it comes to touching, still no. Still no. Still a solid no. But I'm not saying go ahead and kiss and tell her, no, I'm not saying that. You don't go tell your parents and say, I'm good with you kissing. I'm just saying for me now it's different. I'm 32, so yeah. Does that answer your question? Boundaries? So boundaries, you have to make sure that you speak, you make them clear. If you're getting into a relationship with someone, make them clear at the beginning. Say, okay, this is where I think we're going. I'm pursuing you because I think I'm serious about you. I respect you, I like you. I feel like we can be something here. And then you lay it out. Say, hey man, so but we're not gonna be doing this. We're not gonna be meeting at this time. When it's not never gonna be just you and me in the house where there's no one else. Set boundaries. Set boundaries. Because boundaries help the relationship grow in a very mature way. It's a very simple, it's not a proverb, but it's like an analogy. It says, you think freedom is just being able to do whatever you want. But actually freedom exists within confinement. Freedom just exists within a certain type of set of rules. Then it becomes true freedom. Think about it. If you take a fish out of water, you're thinking you're giving that fish freedom. No, you're drowning it. You're choking it to death. It can't breathe. So only when a fish is within water, within that confinement, can it breathe. So even in your relationships, when you have these boundaries, it lets the relationship properly grow. And it becomes something that also worships God. Amen? Any more questions?
Would you say it's advisable to like date someone that's outside your denomination?
Denomination. Yeah, so denomination is a tricky one. I would say it's fine. I personally would say it's fine. Your parents may not think it is. Your close or your mentor may not think it is. So sometimes it can be tricky to navigate that. Because, yeah, if you bring in somebody who's a Catholic and you're not Catholic or whatever to your house, or you're saying that you're with somebody who's a completely different denomination, yeah, some people might front, might trip on that. And in that situation, it's very tricky because, again, there are examples of those who made it work, of those who like literally decided, now we're not going to listen to our parents, we're not going to do what other people are saying. Ask yourself, in that situation where you're in, can you deal with the person who is saying no to it, the person who is rejecting it the most? Let's say your mom is kind of okay with it, but she's only siding with your dad because your dad is very vocal about it, right? Can you deal with your dad not being part of the picture anymore? If you cannot deal with your dad being not being part of the picture, then you have to let it go. I think that's the simplest way to look at it. But it's difficult. Sometimes these things are not very black and white. You have to sort of play it by ear and see what your situation is like. Yeah. Any more questions? Comments? No? Sweet. All right. So I hope you just take that in. Remember that relationships are super important. They can really affect your life. Take your time. There's no rush. There's no one counting how many girlfriends you've been. There's no one counting. I mean, in high school, they might make it look like, I've been with this girl, this girl. You leave high school, none of that will be important. None of it. None of it. And sometimes, like we've just heard, like these couples in high school don't even make it anymore. So take your time. There's no rush. I'm not going to say like your parents, if you're looking for marriage. Of course, that's really the end goal. Take your time. Know your intentions. Understand your heart. Grow in your relationship with God, because that's the one that's most important. And I will hand over to Albert.